Welcome back to the channel. Today we are going to take a look at the most recent teaser for Stranger Things Season 5. There is a ton of behind the scenes shots to help us piece together a couple of scenes and locations. Also possibly our very first shot of Vecna coming after Mike and Nancy's little sister Holly. And a shot of Dustin with blood coming off his face, and hints at a major plot point this season, and Will's first steps towards death. Well, we can hope not, but it's not looking too good for him so far. If you're excited for Season 5, subscribe and send this video to your Stranger Things friends. You're not going to want to miss this next month before Stranger Things Day because fingers crossed, maybe we'll get our first official trailer. The majority of the season has been filmed and hopefully they start a little post-production on some of it and we'll have enough to release a small teaser at the very least. So make sure you're subscribed so you don't miss the breakdown. Now let's go ahead and jump right into the video. Now, starting off strong, we're introduced to Hawkins High School, which it looks like this is probably before the time jump. As we all know, as soon as Season 5 starts, we'll probably have 20 to 30 minutes existing in the space right after Season 4 ends, and then we'll have a time jump forward 1 to 2 years. We can see a young student hanging out here, but there's also a man in black in front of the school. I do wonder if it's military though, because here in this one shot, we can see some Humvees out front with some soldiers in the back. It looks like everyone's flooding into the school and it's still being used as a refuge, somewhere for all the people who just lost their houses and their families to have shelter if they need, or get water, or donate blood, or get some food, or whatever it is. We saw this at the end of Season 4, the military outside of Hawkins High School. They turned the gymnasium into this giant hub for all their operations there. Not only is there the missing persons reports that they're trying to track everyone down, but there's also cots for people to sleep on, food, IV bags everywhere, and a ton of donations. So it looks like this shot will be in Season 4 basically before they time jump forward to the real Season 5. Here we get a cool shot of the original kids together. It looks like they're almost sitting exactly where they sat with Eddie last season. I wouldn't be surprised if this is from one of the first couple episodes. It looks like they're all listening to this radio here and they're all watching Mike write something down. But we did notice in the last video that Noah posted a picture of him getting digitally scanned in this outfit. So it's likely that something crazy is going to happen to him while he's wearing this set of clothes. We definitely need to keep an eye on him. Then here we see the boys walking through the halls of Hawkins. It's crazy to see them so grown up all together in high school still. Dustin's sporting a sick trench coat and it looks like his shirt is messed up. It could just be the rip. We've seen him sporting it earlier, but Will is in the same outfit minus the top layer. And then this is probably after school that same day outside of Hawkins. Possibly at one of the picnic tables that Eddie sat at with Chrissy, which would be really cool. This is kind of a cool group moment going back to their roots. It is interesting that all three of them are on one side and Will's by himself on the other side. He's always alone. We just need one person to go over there and hang out with him, be his friend. Then, unfortunately, it seems like Will kind of wanders off on his own. I have no idea what's distracting him, but it kind of seems like he just got a neck tingle. And he is in the same outfit that he got digitally scanned in, minus the jacket. So it is totally possible that he's about to get yoinked up into the trees or into the upside down or into some kind of mind space that Vecna is luring him into. It seems like the other boys are a little preoccupied or distracted and not paying attention. It definitely is not looking good for Will. And then cut to a minute later and Mike and Lucas are running through the empty halls of Hawkins. And while they could just be late for class, they do have a sense of urgency following this last shot of Will getting distracted by a neck tingle or Vecna tapping into his mind. It does feel like something a little bit bigger happened to Will. This could just be rhyming with Season 2 where Will gets distracted and walks off into the woods and that's where the mind flare goes inside of him. Next, we have a shot of Dustin. Maybe he left early because he's in the same clothes, but he's not here with Lucas and Mike. So maybe Dustin had to leave and he took off early and left Will, Mike, and Lucas. This does look like it could be sunrise or sunset. So maybe he left Mike and Lucas early, or maybe this is just the sunrise before school starts. You can see the golden hour on the trees here. I gotta say, I love his look this season. He looks so much like he's walking in Eddie's footsteps. And then we have this shot here, which is a little concerning. It seems to be at Eddie's gravesite. You can see Dustin has some leaves in his hair, as if he's just been tossed on the ground by some of these jocks here, which at the time, everyone still thinks that this is Eddie's fault. The town is literally blaming him for everything that has happened. And while they're calling it an earthquake, I bet some of these jocks are still upset about Patrick's death and Jason saying that it was Eddie. It also looks like this is the stunt coordinator who's helping Dustin up off the ground, and of course a duffer is filming him very up close and personally. I can't wait to see this after the show comes out. I hope they post it. Meanwhile, the other is literally high-fiving the jocks that just beat Dustin up, so. Next is our first look at the Upside Down, and holy cow did they have a huge set built. It looks so good, and this place is so incredibly massive. Castle Byers is looking very traumatic as always. Here we get to see a shot of the Duffers looking at Castle Byers, and also it looks like the stunt coordinator is here in the background, about to oversee, I don't know, Will fall out of the trees or something. But yeah, the Duffers are checking out Castle Byers right here. They're probably just making sure it's 1-for-1 of the Castle Byers from season 1, 2, and 3. All the trauma needs to have continuity, but just look at this set. This is insane. The vines look great, the trees look great, the haze looks awesome. Here we get a shot of someone doing a stunt. Looks to be possibly military with the gadgets on their belt. They could be wearing military boots. I am not sure. It's so hard to see from this. This definitely looks like it's near the Upside Down. I'm not sure if it's in the Upside Down or in the real world and it looks like the Upside Down because it's coming into the real world, because there is little vines everywhere in the background. And then we get a shot of 11 coming out in some weird looking tracksuit. It looks like sweatpants underneath these red shorts and then a shirt with another gray shirt on top of it, this polo. She's definitely using her force push on something. Maybe it's Vecna, maybe it's a Demogorgon. I am really curious how far they're going to let all the monsters from the Upside Down invade Hawkins and go crazy on the town. I wonder if there's going to be a little Scooby-Doo task force running around of 11 going back and forth across the town trying to help the military exterminate all the Demogorgons. And then we get our first shot of a tunnel, which we haven't seen since what, season 2? I am so excited for them to revisit the tunnel system. This little goop on the wire is so disgusting and I love it. It looks like they have a nice little station set up for all the goop to fall off and not dirty up the entire studio. Oh look, here's Will falling from a tree. Now this is his younger self. This is his costume from season 1, leaving Mike's house with his little backpack on. And we did see the picture that Ross Duffer posted to Instagram of Noah Schnapp with the younger Will. Which is crazy that they found a young version of Will who looks so much like him already. They'll probably end up doing the face swap like they did with the young actress that played Millie Bobby Brown in season 4, but I don't even know if they need to. Look at this kid. I really wonder if this will revisit Will's first steps in the Upside Down, the part of season 1 we didn't get to see, kind of like 11, reliving her younger self's trauma. Then we get our first shot of Vecna, and holy cow does he look good. I cannot tell if this is in Hawkins' lab where 11 first banished him to the Upside Down. It kind of looks like there's the mirror in the background and some doorways from the Rainbow Room and other stuff like hallway corners that you'd see in Hawkins' lab, but I'm really not sure. He's inside some kind of building. It doesn't look like the Creel attic, but I mean, it could be. Either way, he looks great. And here we have Hawkins' lab. The Rainbow Room is straight ahead, and if you zoom in, you can actually see the window that 11 sent Henry Creel soaring through. I do wonder if they got it accurate to how it looks in season 4. Here we can see there's tiny little glass shards all around, basically the entire window shattered. And here it looks like there's just one hole in the middle. I mean, it could be the rift, the entire mirror could be gone, and this could just be the wall behind it. Yeah, maybe it is. Maybe this is the wall behind it, this white here, and it's not a little chunk cut out of the mirror is like a little person-sized hole. I am really happy to revisit Hawkins' lab. Here we get a quick shot of Sean Levy and Joe Keery. It looks like he's in this red jacket fit with the nice gray sweater underneath that we saw the behind the scenes pic in the last video. I have no idea where they are though. Somewhere in the Upside Down or very close to a portal like a rift. It almost looks like Hawkins' lab, that little glass box that they had the rift come out of that Hopper saw. And then next we have the infamous car shot we've seen so much of. You can see Jonathan is here in the back, and then we have Steve up front, and I have no idea what this building right here is. As you can see, they have attached a radar to the top of Steve's car, most likely to communicate with the radio tower. But what's cool about this is the shot that the Stranger writers posted on Twitter a long time ago. I'm talking about a year ago, October 20th, 2023. Yeah, this crazy shot has the pole for the antenna on top of the car going through the middle, Nancy in the right seat and Jonathan in the left, and then it looks like Dustin is up front. It's wearing the same hat we saw Dustin sport at school, which is a little concerning. If this all happens on one day, this would be so much. But the worst part about this is everything is red around them. The only places that are all red like this are the Upside Down and the rifts to get there. Up here it says McCorkle Farm Upside Down, so most likely in the Upside Down under the McCorkle farm, probably using that car to get into the Upside Down. If you remember from season 2, when they had the problem with the pumpkins dying, all the crops were ruined, Hopper actually went to the McCorkle's farm. This is his family, these are his rotted pumpkins, and later in the season, we see them return to Merrill Wright's farm to go into the Upside Down through that hole in the tunnel system. So I wonder if just the same, they can use McCorkle's farm to access the Upside Down as well. Either way, it's pretty cool to get context to this teaser that they gave us a full year ago. But it makes you wonder why they would need a car in the Upside Down. Were the bikes not good enough? Do they need to go farther than a bike would take them in a shorter amount of time? This also gives us the reason they've made a radio tower their HQ this season. Put a giant antenna on top of the car and go into the Upside Down, and they're still able to communicate. It's strong enough to go into the Upside Down, into another dimension. I can't figure out whose house this is. It might just be the McCorkles, honestly, and this is right before they go in. They seem pretty normal, like no crazy things have happened yet, so I would assume it's that. This is a really cool shot. It looks like this is the group about to go into the McCorkle's hole in the ground, into the Upside Down, and they're either looking at the rift, or this is just the red lightning that the Upside Down has once you're inside of it, and they're inside looking at the problem. I'm glad that Nancy brought the weapon for the group and she's going to be their savior. I was hoping they would give her a bigger gun this season, and it looks like they have. I'm just happy they're doing more scenes with Jonathan and Steve. They haven't been together in a scene since what, season 2? They posted a couple other previs videos of Steve and Jonathan. It could just be working on the radio tower. They are definitely looking as beautiful as ever. Here we get a shot of the set for the radio station actually being built. This is crazy. This is really cool because not only do we get looks at Nancy's new costume and Joyce for the first time, but we also see that Dustin has been beaten up probably at the graveyard since they've last spoke. And this could be the same day. Lucas is in the same shirt he wore at high school earlier. So I wouldn't be surprised if all of this that we're seeing right now happens in one day. The kids hanging out in the cafeteria at school, Dustin going to Eddie's grave, maybe each day dealing with that trauma and visiting him and kind of just telling him how he's feeling and how much he misses him and he wishes he was there, getting bullied, and then coming to the radio tower. Steve is in this iconic shirt he's been seeing in the behind the scenes photos. This kind of gray short sleeve with the red long sleeve underneath. We did see it turned into a short sleeve in that video with him and Maya Hawk in the forest. It does make you wonder. But yeah, it looks like Dustin's been beat up pretty bad, unfortunately. My guess with Nancy's outfit is that she is volunteering at the hospital, helping treat all the wounded. Joyce looks great, can't wait to have her back in the show and not in Russia. And Will is still in his trauma outfit. Here we get a shot of Jonathan. It looks like downstairs, maybe in the radio station. So we know there's this big stairwell in the radio station. We've seen Duffer's posts about it on Instagram, but I'm not sure if the radio station is 2 stories high. It kind of looks like one level is just underground, and this is the bunker / underground basement. Jonathan's in the same outfit that we saw him a second ago in. I am so happy to see so much of the main cast all together and working on the same thing. Even Joyce, it's so nice to see her with her sons on the same page working against Vecna. She's not trying to figure out how to rescue Will from the Upside Down or how to get her magnets to stay on her fridge, or trying to figure out how to speak Russian to her new friend, or rescuing Hop from Russia. She's in Hawkins, hanging out with her 2 boys. Yeah, people might die, but at least they're all together. And it looks like Robin showed up at the radio station. It really does seem like they're just putting everyone together this season. For some reason, it looks like the power went out while everyone's here. So after the lights go out and Robin and Joyce go down to check on them, it seems like one of the Duffers is directing Will to take something to the face. Like, I don't know, what leaps at you from the ground up? A Demogorgon? That's all I can think of. He's in the same trauma fit. It would be crazy if they introduced Demogorgons this early on. It's gotta be something else, but who knows? And then we get a shot of 11. It looks like the power is still out from that shot of them trying to turn it back on. It almost looks like there's a spotlight outside on the window and she's trying to focus and get ready to use her powers. It is really cool to see 11 with a bun and long hair. Here we get a shot of Alex Burrow, who's a new addition to the Stranger Things cast this season. I don't know how much of a main character or side character he'll be, but from the looks of it, he'll be an antagonist and probably fill those Nemesis shoes and go up against Hopper. Who knows? but he's in the radio station and it looks to be the same shot of 11 getting ready to fight after the power's gone out. It doesn't seem like he's wearing a military uniform, so then it raises the question, who is he with and why is he here? Is he working with Owen? Who knows where he went since last season? Is he working with the military guy that was chasing after them? Is he part of a private force? Who knows? Next, we get a shot of Holly in her room. This is Nell Fisher, her first time as the new Holly Wheeler. Unfortunately, she has not been Holly very long, and the lights are already flickering. Vecna is coming. It looks like trauma's coming her way in this shot too. It's really cool that over the years, with season 3, they kind of moved Erica up into the main character position just because she got older. In season 4, she was fully in the group, and now Holly's old enough where they're kind of shoehorning her into the main group. I'm really excited to see her become part of the group and the cast and see what she's going to do. I really hope they don't kill her off immediately. Because if you remember, when Vecna showed Nancy the future, not only did he show her upside down monsters flooding into Hawkins, but he also showed her Mike, her mom, and Holly all dead. He also showed her the ripple in the towns, the 4 rifts connecting, and that came true too. So I really hope they don't rip Holly from us and it's just kind of lingering over our heads all season. But it could happen. Here we see Erica and Jake Connolly's new character at the farm, which is pretty cool. He seems like a great kid. I feel like they're going to be a really funny duo. Here we get a shot of Nancy and Mike at the hospital or the radio station, I would guess. It looks like she's in that costume that we saw her at the radio station, so it would make sense. But if she's volunteering at the hospital, that would make sense too. Now this shot is one of the most intriguing. Our first look at Hopper, full beard and everything. Holy cow. I'm so curious as to where he is, why he has a gun, and why he looks like a homeless person. It's so interesting because this is unlike any of the other shots and teasers they've given us. We don't really know what Hopper's doing. Here we get a cool shot of Lucas. It looks like he's in the same jacket he was wearing before. No idea where he is. This doesn't look like Mike's house as much as I want it to be. But the lights are flickering. Yay for the upside down in Vecna. And here's the day 1 outfit. This is that shirt we were talking about that Steve wears. I didn't realize this before. Okay, so last video we determined they're blurring Robin's t-shirts out for something. Either it's just music spoilers for season 5 that they're not ready to release yet, or it has some significance to the plot. But look at how hard she is trying to hide behind the slate. She is balled up in a little ball with her knees together, her shoulders together, and holding the slate up to protect her shirt from being seen. That is crazy. I really do wonder what the significance of her shirts is. Here we get to see current day Millie. This looks like the hair she'll be rocking, which looks awesome. Also filming on stage 11. What more fitting than that? We get an awesome shot of Sadie going through the wardrobe, which is massive and piling up more and more each season, showing off the Dear Billy fit from season 4. So much trauma, so much emotion. This shot is so cute. I love seeing them together. In real life, they are the most adorable couple. In the show, I cannot determine if Nancy should be with Steve or Jonathan. But that's another huge question they have to wrap up this season. Also, so good to see Max and Lucas when she's not in a coma. I'm curious how much of the season she'll be awake for. If there will be something specific that wakes her up, because there is no way they can leave her like that and have her just die. Jamie Campbell Bower looks amazing. Not only do we have the front of his Vecna mask sitting here on this mannequin, but also the top of his head is in the background somewhere. Right here it looks like. I cannot imagine how much makeup he has to sit through each day he works. And this borderline looks like him as an orderly, how he did his hair. I really wonder if we're going to get more flashback scenes of him before he's Vecna. I kind of hope we do. I feel like it's almost necessary for his whole story to be filled out, because there are so many questions we have. Also, Cara Buono's wig as Mike's mom is sitting here, and it looks just like it does in every season. I wonder if it's the same one. I hope she's going to be okay. They better not do anything traumatic to her. It's cool we get to see Linda Hamilton show up to set. I am curious how she's going to work her way into the story, if she'll just be the boss for the military that's coming to check out Hawkins and figure out what's going on. We really don't know too much about her character yet. I wonder if this is Finn's first time back on set in Mike's room, because that is pretty cool. Also, Dustin on set. I brightened it up because I could not see what set it is for. I have no idea, but it is raised in the air, which again is concerning. It does look like the walkie-talkies will play a much larger role this season, with the radio tower being at their disposal, which is awesome because it feels very much like season 1 and 2. Them talking from different houses over the walkies was such a cool core part of the show, and it kind of went away over time. They didn't use it as much, and I feel like that is another part of season 1 they're bringing back to the show. I don't know about you, but I'm ready for some new Stranger Things trauma. I really hope they release something big for Stranger Things Day, with this being the last last one possibly before the show comes out. It could be released next Stranger Things Day, but who knows? It might be released near Halloween, and then this will be the last one before the last season comes out. Like I said, make sure you're subscribed so you don't miss it, and until then, I will see you in the next video. Peace.